Greetings to all of you. On Friday, we got a new character, NIGHTSEER Esmeralda, on the test servers, who looks very strong not only because of her Legion skill, but also because of the rest of his abilities. As you can see, I've already started to improve it a little on the test server, and let's tell you in more detail about its abilities and why I really liked it. Oracle's Shift. Skill buff, debuff, damage. Attacks the enemy 3 times, each time dealing damage of 115% of the attack and stealing 30 energy and 10% of his attack. Controlling energy is always a good thing. The effect of stealing an attack lasts until the end of the battle, not exceeding 50%, adds up to 6 times. Every time Esmeralda attacks an enemy, she also receives an 8% increase in damage for the rest of the battle. And at the first levels of Twilight, 170% of the damage will be received instead of 115. A good skill, there is energy control, plus an increase in attack and damage, which is very useful for a fighter. Moonfall Eclipse, skill, debuff, damage. Deals 170% attack damage to 2 random enemies, allowing Esmeralda to ignore 90% of their defense. That's very good. Ignoring protection is very powerful, because it will cause almost pure damage. I like it. This skill gives priority to non-attacked enemies. Increases damage dealt up to 215%. The effect of ignoring the defense lasts until the end of the fight. Very much, considering that thanks to the ultimate, she will get to the back rows, and they already have minus armor, very much. The ultimate. The Stardance Finale. Esmeralda transforms into the energy of the eclipse, which is inaccessible to targeting, for 6 seconds. Moves towards the enemy with the most attack and deals damage equal to 70% of her attack to the nearest enemies. At the end of the action, the eclipse energy explodes, dealing damage to nearby enemies equal to 15% of their maximum HP. Again, the damage from the maximum HP is always good to take away some percentages. The energy of the eclipse performs 3 divinations of 1 random enemy every second. First, it attracts it into the radius of the eclipse energy if it is outside the radius of the eclipse energy. Second, it deals damage to 80% of his shield if he has a shield. The third reduces its energy by 100 if immune to knockbacks of pulls. If the divination fails, it deals damage equal to 5% of its maximum HP. That is, if the enemy does not have a shield, but this skill is triggered, then he simply loses 5% HP. When Eclipse energy attacks nearby enemies, it silences them and slightly pulls them toward its center, but won't interrupt their basic attacks. A good and strong ultimate that will cause good damage, as well as reduce energy. Night Confidant. Passive, buff. The Legion skill. Esmeralda gets a 15% damage reduction. For every 40% HP lost, she receives 1 stack Twilight, reducing the energy consumption of the next ultimate by 80. Adds up to 3 times. All Twilight stacks are removed when using her ultimate. In PvP modes, each enemy hero is rendered mute for 2 seconds when he first takes cumulative damage equal to 30% of his maximum HP. Reduces energy at the 3rd level by 75 when it is immune to the effect of dumbness. At the 4th level, we reduce the enemy's energy by 150. A good global skill for PvP content. Now Realm skill. Performs a divination every 4 seconds, successively causing the following effects. Increases the energy regeneration of another allied hero with the least amount of energy by 15%. Increases the chance of crit and crit damage of the other 2 allied heroes with the highest attack by 20%. Gives all allied heroes with less than 60% HP a shield equal to 200% for 12 seconds. The effects of her Rion skill are very strong. I really like this character. HP plus 3%. When performing divination, this skill is also triggered unconditionally on Esmeralda herself. That is, all these abilities will work not only on our team members, but also on her. Very cool. Every 7 times Esmeralda's divination is triggered on any unit, the enemy with the highest HP percentage goes into the Void Moon state, taking damage equal to 10% of its maximum HP per second. The state lasts until the end of the battle and cannot add up. There is a limit of 1000% of Esmeralda's attack. Even though there is a damage limit, it's still a lot of damage that the opponent's character will receive. Gain all attack stats plus 3%. Enemies in the Void Moon state deal 50% less damage to Esmeralda and receive 100% more damage from her. A very strong realm skill. Of course, the hero deserves to be improved. The only disadvantage is that she will appear in the Sacred Scrolls only after half a year. Now let's look her Soul Vessel. When any divination is triggered, her attack increases by 2% to 50%. At the 10th level, when the divination will work 4% instead of 2%. For each condition not fulfilled by the ultimate divination, Esmeralda receives a shield equal to 3% of the maximum HP of that enemy. The shield does not exceed 15% of her own maximum HP, lasts for 15 seconds and stacks up to 20 times. While the shield is active, she receives 100% energy recovery from damage. At level 30, Esmeralda gains a shield of 6% instead of 3% and can reach 30% of her maximum HP. A good personal artifact that will improve her survival rate and increase her damage. Now let's look at the Orly cards. When triggered, Knight Confidant removes all control effects and target change effects. Gains immunity to them for 5 seconds. On the second set, the first time Knight Confidant is triggered, Esmeralda becomes immune to all damage for 1 second. On the third set, Esmeralda gets 30 lifesteal in the state of Eclipse energy. While using the ultimate, she will recover her health well thanks to the third set of cards. Most UR class heroes are worthy of collecting prismatic gems on them. Let's see what abilities they get here. Restores HP after killing or participating in killing an enemy, which is useful considering that she fights in the front row. Gains defense every 5 seconds in battle, a very useful skill, as she needs to live as long as possible so that she can do as many divinations as possible. When HP drops below 40%, 10 horsepower per second is restored for 5 seconds, and the defense attack increases by 30% until the end of the battle. The last level looks very good on her, a huge boost in survival and damage. It seems to me that the new Esmeralda is a very strong hero who should enter the metagame not only in the arena, but also in the PvE content will show himself well thanks to his powerful abilities. What do you think of her? I'm waiting for you in the comments and see you in the next videos.